Yes, hi everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. Awais is here again, and we are going to discuss personal data protection law. That is not just a law on the paper, but it is actively enforced. So, one simple mistake with personal data could cost your organization millions. So, we all have to be careful. So, if you are working here in Saudi Arabia and you are handling the customer data or even the employee data, PDPL is applying to you. Imagine that you sent one wrong email and the data is shared with some wrong person. It is an accountability. It's not only a law. The management have to take care about this one. So just to tell you that the PDPL is fully enforced and it is applying to all organizations operating inside the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and there are serious consequences if you are not, complying with it. So for non-compliance, the consequences can be serious. So imagine the financial penalties; they can go up to 5 million, and the criminal penalties for sensitive data misuse can be also implemented on you, and the accountability is on you. So public enforcement actions that impact your reputation. On a bigger term, uh, what is personal data? So many people, they will maybe not aware that what comes in the personal data. So personal data is any data that can identify some person. It can be a name, a phone number, or anything like from an IP address or employee ID, your bank information, your financial details, your employment history. So any information, any data from what you can find out that who is the person. Like my name is Awais, so if you have my mobile number, you can know this mobile number belongs to Awais from my national ID or any passport number. So this all is coming inside the data, even email address. So this should be taken carefully, that how you are dealing the data. So even the sensitive data, like your health data, so medical records, as the hospitals, they have the medical record number or your file number, your medical reports, the treatments that is being done in the hospital that can identify. So this all is personal data. It's a sensitive data, and it is coming under the PDPL. So we have to protect this data. Your biometric data, your fingerprint, your facial recognition data, your iris scan, this is coming under the PDPL. Your DNA profiles, your family history that can identify the person, genetic data. This is also sensitive data. Your religious belief, even your religiously you belong to what faith and what sects, how the religious practices you are performing. This is also sensitive data. Your criminal records, any offenses, any legal proceedings that you have taken part, you were a part of it. This is also a sensitive data. What are the 5 golden rules for data protection? So we should make sure that we are protected. So everyone, employees in a company, they should be aware of these things. So how the use of this data is in the workplace. So where you are using this data, this matters a lot. So let's say you are receiving a patient and you are filling the form and you are taking all this data. So this is for the work purpose. So what is the legitimate need for this data? Do we require this data, or are we asking some extra data? Let's say a family tree or other family members. So it happens that the doctors, they will need the family history, so they will ask the data. So if it is required, yes, then it is allowed to collect this data. Otherwise, you should be careful. And from the data, let's say you got all the data and it is stored on the database. So a receptionist will only require maybe the ID number or file number and some financial information, but not the history, what the doctor is going to take it. So the access should be given only for this purpose. So the secretary, let's say a receptionist, will not be using any other data So you should give the access of data as a role based. So access should be role based on this one. And you should not send any work related personal data through your personal emails or through WhatsApps. This can create a trouble in future for you. And you should not use this data on your personal devices like your mobiles or your laptop that are personal, not belongs to the company or to the hospital. Some people, by the way, they ask that how about the HR department, as they are dealing with your ID numbers, your salary. So all of this is a personal data and it should be protected. The HR people should not print even the salary information or any other legal documents and leave them on the printer. I have noticed this in past in multiple audits and assessments. I found many times printed passport copies or other informations on the printed. So that's why this should be taken care of and people should not leave this on the public access place. If any incident happens, let's say your data is stolen or some theft is happened, your website is hacked, you should be careful on this and you should quickly report this breach or violation to your supervisor or compliance team right away, and then they are supposed to inform the authority. There are some principles for data minimization, that you just access what is necessary, you collect minimum data, and then you review and delete. So this approach actually reduces the risk of exposure. As I was mentioning earlier, that when a patient is coming to hospital, you are just collecting the data that is required. You cannot collect extra data. It should be minimized. Before collecting any data from anyone, ask yourself multiple questions, that do I really need this data? Where this data will be used? And in the business purpose, what data is required and it can be used? Am I collecting that data or some extra data? So is this data required for the transaction you are doing? So imagine you are in a bank, and in the bank you have to provide the IBAN, or where you want to transfer the money or you want to take out the money. So you have to give your account number, your ID, and all this. Now, there the bank guy, he cannot ask you that, okay, tell me how many kids you have, okay, and where you were living 3 years ago, or multiple kind of your history or that data. It is not required for this transaction. So you should think before collecting that, do I need this data? So you need to justify this data, why you are collecting it. You should think that, can I accomplish my action or assignment, let's say the medical transaction or the banking some transaction with this data, or if it can be done without it. So collect minimum data, don't over collect the data. That's a main point. So data minimization principle, focus on it. Another thing that is very important, it is a consent of the person that you are collecting the data. It can be for the marketing communication. So let's say under the marketing communication, you cannot use anyone's data and post it on LinkedIn or in advertisement. It is a critical restriction that the sensitive data, specifically the health data, your religious beliefs, your biometric, cannot be used for marketing purposes. So all marketing activities, you should get a consent from the person. For example, let's say there is some event happening and you are taking a video or some let's say pictures. So you should get the consent of the person and then you can use it. So most of the time when you are registering for some event, there is a disclaimer where you will give the consent that you will agree they can take your picture and they can use it on marketing purposes. So your explicit consent is required. Even in the hospitals, when you are providing a data, you have to give a consent. So as a customer, it will be asked to you, and the organizations, they should have this document where they will be taking your consent or signature, and it should be specified on it that where this data will be used. And there should be an option that you can opt out and you can say, okay, please don't use my data for marketing purposes, or let's say for research purposes. Like hospitals, they do research, they need to use this data, so they should have this consent from the patients. So what are the rights of the data subject? Let's say me, I am giving my data. So what are the rights? So I have a right, I can ask to any organization that give me a copy of my personal data that you are using, where you are using this data. I want to see, I want to check my data, like you have seen on LinkedIn or Facebook or even Google. You can download your data. You have a right also to correct any misinformation or incomplete personal information with this organization. You can request them, you can ask them to change the things. Okay, and you can correct the data, you can ask for a deletion, you can ask for withdraw your consent, and the organization should respond in 30 days. So employees, they should never respond themselves, but they should escalate it immediately, and then the organization should take care, and then they should respond. Uh, as I mentioned, the subject or the person, he can request to delete the data, he can ask to withdraw his consent. So after the consent is withdrawn, the organization cannot use this data. So what is a data breach? What do you call that a data breach is happened? So it can be any incident where your personal data is accessed, disclosed, lost, or compromised without any authorization. Let's say you send an email to a wrong person. I mean, your employee, you have a customer data and you send an email to a wrong person with this data, or the data was stored on a device and device is lost. You share some file having the personal data of your customer, and it is shared somewhere accidentally, let's say on some social media. So this will create some trouble. So accidentally even disclosure, it is considered as a breach. So legally, anything accidentally that you do, it is considered as a breach. This is your responsibility to make sure that it is not shared or accidentally authorized by someone. So anything that happens like this, you are supposed to follow the proper protocols. So when you are doing a gap assessment, and after the gap assessment, you are doing an implementation of PDPL, you are supposed to create these protocol that what employee can do if any breach happens. Your remote work and the cloud, how you are securing the remote work. So as the work environment is changing, more and more people started working from home. Remote work is increasing the exposure of data loss. Specifically, if you are using a public Wi-Fi, your unsecured devices are there, or you are using some cloud tools that are not approved by your company, that are not checked by your information security team, it will create some vulnerabilities. So never upload your company data, your any other data that is having information of your customer to unapproved systems. So your remote and hybrid work environments where you are taking your laptop, let's say in office, and then work from home, there is some secure practices that should be implemented. Let's secure your network, connect through the company VPN. You can protect your devices with strong passwords or your screen locks. You should avoid to use any public Wi-Fi or open Wi-Fi areas. They are not secure. You never know, maybe your data is being captured while you are using it. And you should never store your work data on personal applications, let's say on WhatsApp or your personal Google Drives. Before sending any email, you should verify that who's the person that you are sending to, who's the recipient, and if you lose your device, you should report it immediately. So data protection is a part of professional responsibility, and you should not think it like it is a responsibility only for information security team or your system admins. It is a responsibility for every employee. He should be careful what kind of data he's using. Is it customer data, your organizational data? It is you need to protect it. You need to protect your customers. You should protect their privacy, their personal information. It should not be misused. People in your company, they should not have access right for the data that is not required for them. You should protect your organization from the penalties, from the legal liability. Even the reputational damage will happen if you are having some breach, some data breach happens in your area. Protect your reputation, and this is your moral duty and your professional duty. So this was a small brief and idea about the PDPL that it is fully implemented, it is fully enforced. You cannot make a reason now that you are not aware of. So thank you very much for all of you for giving me this time to explain you what is PDPL. You should train your people. You should work on awareness. Tell your employees what PDPL, it is fully enforced. And if you need any help, we as Fanoon Business Consulting Group, we can help you on implementing and providing the awareness on PDPL. Thank you very much again. Have a good day.